So now you've got it all ready to pour. It's really dry, and you've got it all glued down really tight. All right, so the Enviro-Tex is a 2-part epoxy. It's really thick. It's really important that you get it absolutely even. Now, we have this great little measuring cup that's got all of the measurements on the side. So we're going to pour in here and measure it just exactly. This board, out of the smaller box, this is our 8-ounce box, I can get 4 of these little boards. The recommended is 1 ounce per square foot. And so I'm going to pour for this one, that's what I'm going to do, is put 1 ounce of each one in and mix it. The black lid is the one that's the hardener. And so if the hardener isn't mixed up really even, or if it isn't stirred in, or if you don't have enough, it will leave the Enviro-Tex a little bit sticky. Over time it'll stay, it never does dry. So we're going to pour equal amounts of both the hardener and the mix. Here we go. These will keep quite a while. I've kept them for quite a while and used them, and they'll be fine. But once it's mixed, you need to use it up within the next, probably about a half hour. You need to use it up in about a half hour. Okay, now as they're all mixed, and you can see the way how they've blended because it's cloudy, and you can see the bubbles. And so after you've mixed it so that the bubbles are completely through it, you know that you've mixed it enough. Scrape the sides and scrape it off the bottom. All right, I can see bubbles all the way through it, so I think I've got it pretty well mixed. All right. Now we're just going to pour this right around. I like to pour it around the outside edges and then kind of over the groove. And then my first concern is to get it over all of the cardstock. Just get it right to the edges first. Now the Enviro-Tex is self-leveling. You can see it's kind of the texture of honey, but you don't have to really spread it as much as you need to just cover all of your edges, and then it levels itself. One of the mistakes people make is they try to work it like frosting or whatever and just keep working at it to make sure they get it really smooth, and you don't need to do that. You just need to get it so that it's all covered and it's all on there. You can see I've got the photo is well covered, and all of my paper is covered. And you can see all those bubbles. There's lots of bubbles in there, so I know that I've mixed it really good. Okay, now after I have it all poured on there, I like to use these just little cheap craft brushes. They're a great spreader. Now I just spread that with my little stirring stick, which on a small board it works really well. But if you want to do one of these bigger boards, this is a great way to spread it. This is a good time to tell you too that alcohol cleans up the Enviro-Tex. It's really sticky, and once it dries, it's there forever. So the easiest way to clean it up off your hands, or if you spill it, is just with a wipe, a baby wipe, any of those. Most of these are not alcohol-based, but they still clean it up pretty good. You can clean off the handle. So a lot of times I will use this to spread it, and then I will clean off all of the stuff off the handle, and then I'll use this to go around and get my edges. I have spilled it on things, I put it on my floor, whatever. And if you need to get it off, just some little alcohol wipes are a great way to get it cleaned off. Now you can see that it's starting to drip a little bit, and it will do that. You'll notice that I've placed the board up on some paper cups. The Enviro-Tex has to drip off the sides in order to get a good finish. So you can place it on soup cans, paper cups, anything that you want to. It's just so long as it's high enough that you can actually work with it. You can see we've got all the edges covered. It takes it about 20 minutes to really, 20 or 30 minutes to really set up. So there's not a big rush as far as getting it all done. You want to get it even, and you want to watch your holes, but you don't, if there's a blank spot, but you don't need to really hurry. You've got plenty of time that you can play with it. So from here, I'm just going to let it sit for a few minutes and just let it drip.